Bulletcast for life.
Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah, the current reigning, defending Bulletcast champion. After WrestleMania night 1 and 2, I'm going to smash both Brandon and Brian and still be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the podcast world. I am joined by Brandon Tanguma, the Canadian Destroyer. BT, what's going on, brother?
Phillip, doing just fine. May or may not be a little hungover from yesterday, which, maybe it's a good thing we didn't do the podcast right after the show, but doing fine. Revolution was great. Excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. And also here to talk about AEW Revolution is Mr. Grinding All My Life. He's from the streets, even though he's a suburban husband. Mr. Brian Tronick. What's going on, man?
I love that, suburban husband. I'm good, Phillip. And I just want to say that I am the Bulletcast Universal Heavyweight Champion. And
all right, bro.
I will still be the Bulletcast Universal Heavyweight Champion after night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've never been here for these back-to-back title defenses. You've never been here for that.
I'm ready for it.
Like you can ask Brandon, you could win it night 1 and then lose it night 2.
I was born a champion.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
That's was that Chris Brown and Chipmunk? I remember. Yeah. From the Tough Enough.
Yeah.
With Cameron. What's your favorite match? Alicia Fox versus Money. Yeah. Okay. Hey,
I love that song, by the way.
It's a slept-on song. This song was great. No, we are here to talk AEW Revolution. Solid show. So I'm gonna go overall thoughts real quick. It paced really well until like a certain point where I'm like, damn, I'm thinking like, because when we get to Britt and Thunder Rose, and I'm like, oh my God, Brian and Mox still gotta go. And then after that, I'm like, oh my God, the 6-man tag hasn't happened yet. So like, man, like they paced really well for like that first half, and then it just started dragging. What about you? What about you, Brandon?
Well, overall, I'm probably going to be very positive about this show. I did think AEW matches are always going to be very long because going into this, we knew 9 matches were going to be on the pay-per-view card proper. And I was wondering how they were going to pace it and what the match order would be. I mean, we can talk about it kind of one by one, but I did think, we knew the main event was going to be the main event, but I think kind of outside of that, it was up in the air what the order would be. And, they made some decisions that maybe I agree with, maybe I don't. I still don't exactly know, but I don't have anything in terms of, negativity in terms of the pace. And I thought all the matches kind of played out well and they kind of did their job.
Brian Tronick.
I thought the show pacing was good. I agree with you, Phillip, to a point. And then after a certain while, you would look and be like, okay, they've only been live for like a little over 2.5 hours, but they've still got like 3 or 4 matches left. And I know that main event ain't going to be 25 minutes. So, it just put it in, like, it just instantly made me think like, yo, this is going to be a very, very long show, which normally I don't really have a problem with it, especially if it's good action. But I felt like the second part of it, the action wasn't really as good as the first one. They came out swinging hard. Even straight from the buy-in, it was like good match after good match after good match after good match. And then it started to fall apart.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the buy-in. Brandon.
Yay! We get to talk about the pre-show. So excited.
Yes, this is where Brandon, he leads us down the match card. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you, Phillip. So nice of you to let me do this. But the first match we had legit Layla Hirsch take on Chris Statlander, singles match, and Chris Statlander loses. Layla Hirsch gets the win. This one goes by 9:50. We set up Layla Hirsch as like a number one contender now or something because she's going to have a match with Thunder Rosa next week or something. They were plugging like 20 different things during the show. It was very confusing.
I didn't see the buy-in. How did she win?
Honestly, kind of forgot.
Okay.
I think she hit her with the turnbuckle connector thingy.
Okay.
And that's kind of what led down the path of Statlander losing. But
Okay.
The match was okay. It was kind of sloppy at times. There were some good spots at times. So kind of hit and miss, and what you probably would expect it from these two.
I know I'm happy for Layla Hirsch. I'm a big fan of hers. You know, she has that shoot wrestler intensity and mentality. So obviously, you walking into a match like that, you would have obviously think Statlander would have won, but no, that didn't happen. So congrats to her.
Brian definitely watched this pre-show.
Yeah, I did. I thought the match was good. At some parts, it was like I didn't know if Layla was hurt because it seemed she sells really good because I really thought she was hurt at some parts. They had this one spot where they were on the apron and they were like fumbling to kind of see who was going to do what and what was going to happen. It just looked weird. For the most part, it was good. I watched it back actually earlier this morning because I was like, let me look at that back and let me see what happened. And it was all right. It was decent.
Then we had Hook make his debut outside of Rampage, first match outside of Rampage, a pay-per-view debut, pre-show debut, taking on QT Marshall. The match goes about 5 minutes flat. Hook gets the win via submission, pretty much what you'd expect. A lot of, fluff with QT and some outside people. And
Brandon,
Hook sells a little bit.
You said his name wrong.
QT Marshall.
Thank you.
Sorry. QT Marshall tapped out to Hook, and Hook keeps on rolling.
Oh God, he only wrestles on Rampage.
That's the Hook show.
I like that. I like that. Why not? Let me be different. I like that a lot. That's interesting to me. I didn't see this either, but congratulations, Hook.
I thought Hook was a tad bit exposed in this match in terms of I'll say this. It just reminded me that he's still new. I won't say green because he's phenomenal. He's well advanced in what he should be, but he's still definitely new. The selling needs to get just a little bit better. And shout out to QT. How do you guys do it? Marshall.
Yes,
Marshall.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I told you I could do it.
All right. Maybe you are from these streets.
Yeah.
Told you.
And the final, the main event of the pre-show was the 6-man tag with the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews taking on Triángulo de la Muerte, con Eric Redbeard. I don't know if he's officially a part of the group or not, but Pac and Penta and Redbeard end up taking the loss here. Redbeard eats the pin, loses. This match goes 17-20. This could have been a pay-per-view, main event quality match in terms of a Dynamite or something, but no, they put it here on the pre-show. Action, what you'd expect. Redbeard, who we know when he came out on debuted on Rampage, I was like, that's kind of strange, but he was over with the crowd. He did decent work. It seemed with him losing, this was just kind of maybe a one-off thing, but he's not going to be an everyday presence on Dynamite or AEW. But I thoroughly enjoyed this match, and it kind of gave a little jolt of energy going into the pay-per-view.
They called him Eric Rowan.
Excalibur did once at the end, and that's a JR move. Head naming him like that.
That's why you need to get me. I would never make that mistake. God, I caught the last 7 minutes of this match. Holy cow, this is crazy, man. This is excellent. I'm a fan. Love the House of Black. Brody King. I saw him wrestle live once at the King of the Indies tournament. I thought wow, I was intrigued by him back then, and I'm more intrigued with him now, given what he's doing with Malachi and Buddy.
I've been on record saying,
take that out of your hair. What the hell are you doing?
Sorry. I've been on record saying that I thought Malachi Black's entrance in AEW wasn't that cool to me. Like, it just, something was missing. When they added Brody King, I was like, still not hitting for me. Last night, with Buddy Matthews added to that entrance, with them all having the little skull face mask thing, that was cool. With the little cloth, I call it like a sheet. The little sheet, you know what I'm talking about, Brandon, right? The little sheet that fell and then revealed them. The Carmella sheet, you know what I'm talking about. I really enjoyed the entrance. The match, it seemed like a bunch of really big dudes. Buddy Matthews was always looked at as someone who was small in WWE. Well, he looked like a big dude in an AEW ring. He fit right in with, because everybody else in the match was a lot bigger than him and had more tattoos too. Like it was just weird, but I thought the match was good. I don't really like Penta Oscuro. Did I say that right?
See,
I don't like I just don't like it. It's a little weird. It just, the Death Triangle just ain't been hitting for me. I feel like if it ain't Pac that's out, it's Phoenix that's out. If it ain't Phoenix that's out, it's Penta that's out. I don't know. It's just weird. Redbeard, good to see him back in the ring. I don't know what took so long to make that happen, but good to see him back.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the stuff with Eric and Brody King quite a bit. Something you don't see in AEW too much, with the big boys going at it.
They were big boys.
Big boys.
Big boys.
Big boy.
Hitting them ropes, diving. What do they call it?
Tope suicidas?
Tope suicida.
Was it a tope suicida? Was it a tope con hello? Was it a tope plancha? Was it a spaceman plancha? Was it a corkscrew plancha?
Wow. I like the corkscrew planches.
I'm a commentator. I know.
Okay, Mike Tenay.
Okay.
No.
Oh. Never. No.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, Excalibur.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. He's racist.
Okay, Zabisco.
I mean, I'll take a Larry Zabisco. I'll take a Zabisco. I'll take a Matt Striker.
Okay, you're going the wrong direction.
Mike Adamle.
Oh, I don't know about that. You know, I was asked. Somebody asked me if I could call a match with somebody, who would I call with? And do you know who my dream? You know who I picked?
Vince McMahon.
Yes, I did. I did. I'm like, if I could call the match with Vince, that'd be great. But realistically, I'm looking at it like, if I could call with like a Matt Striker, that'd be cool for me. I was a fan of his work when he was calling SmackDown in like 2010, and when he was calling the late ECW revival, like in 09, 2010. I was a fan of that work.
So you're telling me there's actually a fan of Matt Striker out there?
Look, I met Matt Striker when we went to Double or Nothing. Very nice individual. Very nice guy.
Underrated.
His stuff is underrated. They don't know. That team of Matt Striker and Josh Matthews, come on, bro.
They kind of carried a lot of those pay-per-views.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Underrated work. We here to talk the main show now?
I mean, I guess I could take the talk pre-show all day, but to kick off the AEW Revolution proper, we started with Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho, singles grudge match. Eddie Kingston's kind of the opening match specialist for these pay-per-views, and the crowd gets hot. I mean, both entrances were good. You know, crowd singing Judas, crowd getting behind Eddie. The match clocks in at 13:40. Kingston gets the win with the old stretch plum. I mean, who had that on their bingo card today? But Kingston gets the win. Maybe a little mockingly goes for the handshake for Jericho. Jericho kind of goes for it, but then backs away. Jericho, maybe we thought this would be like a full-blown heel turn in the match. Nothing, I mean, yes, he was heelish, but nothing too obscene from him. So I think we're not done with this Kingston Jericho thing yet. But I really enjoyed the match. That was a great start to the show.
Jericho looks great. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's all just a revenge body, so he looks way better than Kingston. That's all it is. And I mean, he was pulling out, some good lion salts, and he was doing some flippy doos, and he looked pretty good.
Man. He still got it. My friend still has it. Yes. I love it.
He sure is posting them a lot of pics with that shirt off now. He's like, yeah, What y'all say about me?
Hey, he posted a pic an hour ago that is very, very funny given who showed up last night.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen he posted
I
all,
did.
all of them on the stage together?
Yep.
Yep. Apparently they're all much happier now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yep. No fun match. Jericho doesn't shake Kingston's hand, so we'll wait to see.
Yeah, it was okay for me. I got a lot more. For me, I got a lot more out of Kingston in this match than the one he had with who did he just recently face?
Face Punk at Full Gear.
Punk. There we go. Yeah. I almost said Darby. I don't know why I said Darby. But yeah, it was good. Jericho, I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised at the finish. I don't know why. And I don't know why I thought Santana and Ortiz would get involved, but they didn't. I don't know. It's a little weird.
That kind of just leans into they're going to tell the story a little bit more. I think, kind of looking back, maybe would have started with Moxley and Bryan, maybe just because of where they ended up being on the card, because they kind of were part of like the dead portion of the, right before the main event, and the crowd was kind of a little bit tired. What do you guys think about that in terms of, could there have been a better opening match than this one?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Moxley Bryan one's just kind of it's a similar type match, and I was kind of disappointed with it a little bit, and I kind of wanted them to maybe get that hot crowd that they kind of deserved.
I mean, with the story too, like when you compare the two stories, I get what you're saying. I feel like you could have got a lot more out of Mox and Bryan also, but hey,
then we get the 3-way tag team match with Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Champ, the Dragon.
Okay.
Yes. This one goes 1855, and Jurassic Express retains their titles. They told the story. The one thing I hate about these types of matches is where you have, multiple teams, but only two are allowed to wrestle at the same time. But I did think they did a good job of kind of telling the story of the Young Bucks and Red Dragon working together. So it was kind of a 4-on-2. They were, tagging each other, and then it kind of fell apart as the heels don't get along, which normally happens. And at the end, Jurassic Express won on their own. It wasn't, some fluky bullshit of, Red Dragon and Young Bucks fight each other and the baby faces take advantage. They won on their own, which I think they should have.
You said 1855?
Yep.
That's short for a Young Bucks match. Normally they go like 35 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of broken. If you go like, 3 6-minute intervals, it was like, everything's fine with Red Dragon and Young Bucks. They little dissension, and then like just the last 6 minutes is just a sprint of bang, 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 do all your spots and the finish.
Jungle Boy's really coming to his own. Yes.
Yes, he has. I was very surprised by Jungle Boy. I thought they were going to lose this match when they didn't. I was so surprised, and I was very happy. And Jungle Boy, man, that move that him and Luchasaurus do, where he flips him into the power bomb, whatever it's, I don't even know what it's called, but I like it, and I'm very impressed. And I think that match sort of woke up the tag division because it was put to sleep in the absence of the Young Bucks. But then again, I think I don't know if that's a good thing. Do the Young Bucks have to be involved for it to be a good tag team match? I don't know.
We'll see.
We will.
Then we get the Face the Revolution ladder match with Wardlow and Keith Lee and Orange Cassidy and Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks and Christian Cage, which he was a part of the match. You might not have seen him, but he was there.
So I thought there was going to be a Joker in this, because don't they normally do that? Like a Joker in like the ladder match?
Sometimes, but yes, this just wasn't the case this time.
Yeah,
maybe that's only for the casino ladder matches.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right. I forgot they have two different. Look, they got to get rid of the ring. They have like I can't take you seriously holding up the ring. Like, it's stupid. It's really. It
was kind of funny but dumb the first time they did it, but now that they're going back to it again, it's like, okay. but I think we can
Bro,
stop.
they can hold up like a piece of paper, bro. Like, like come on, like they can hold up a clipboard and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what. Like, come on, man. It's
Or
those
box.
it's those jabs, bro. It's those jabs that are unnecessary. There were big, beefy, meaty men slapping meat in this match.
I didn't know this was Keith Lee's first ladder match.
Are we sure?
That's what Mia Yim said.
Okay, well, maybe it is. Maybe.
I could have swore he was in a ladder match in NXT.
No, he wasn't.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Charlie
congrats.
kept saying he's gonna break the ladder.
Congrats to him. Christian, he ladder match veteran, played they said 22nd. I'm like, I feels like he has to have been in more ladder matches than that. He has to have been in more.
Christian definitely helped book that ladder match.
Oh.
There was so many things in there. I'm like, I've seen this before.
Yeah. Hobbs looked good. Shout out to the homie Hobbs. Wardlow won, which I think the right person won. He hasn't really done much in AEW besides being the heavy to Maxwell, which Wardlow plays an integral part in that dog collar match later on in the night.
Yeah, I was happy Wardlow won. It was kind of like the start to what I have been saying that should happen for Wardlow. And as we get into the Punk and MJF match, I'll comment more on that. But it was a good match. It was better than what I thought it would be. Starks kind of disappeared in this match too, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, they did the big spot of Wardlow pushing Keith Lee and Hobbs like off of the stage.
Starks almost died at the end of the match. Took the power bomb on the ladder contraption.
Yeah,
that Christian had to set. The Christian set it up while setting up one ladder to get to the ring, but he said, "No, I'm not going to get the ring. I'm going to set this contraption up."
That was Wardlow who hit him with the power bomb, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yikes! Hit his head and everything. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the match was good. Maybe a little bit. I don't know what I was exactly expecting because there's a lot of beefy boys in this match, and so they're not just going to fly all over the place. Keith Lee, I'm still hesitant. He still hasn't busted out like any super athletic things in terms of like high flying or speed. It's really reliant on power, which is fine. Like if he wants to do that, that's cool. And I thought this would have been the perfect match because there were a lot of big guys for him to catch and not get injured and anything like that. But you just thus far is relying more heavily on the power, and maybe that's for health reasons. And hopefully he does something, later, or he can do something with the storyline because, he hasn't, even in this match, he wasn't really doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, then we get we had Tony Schiavone on the stage introducing a signing that we all knew was happening, especially when he turns the cardboard, the clipboard, and it's a big swerve in bold print. I was like, oh, I wonder who's going to show up. But yeah, so Shane Swerve Strickland shows up and he signs his contract. Very swaggy, just maybe a little heelish, but
whose house?
Swerve's house. The crowd did know what he was going to say before he even said it, which it is the smarkiest of smart crowds, but that is a good sign that he is over.
Whose house? Swerve's house. Yes, sir. Bro, I'm hella mad. Game related for West Coast Pro sold out. I'm trying to see Swerve next month. Blood.
Swerve with the 3.
I'm trying to see Swerve. I'm trying to see the homie, man. Yo, like I've said it on the show before. When he was on the Indies, man, he was like the hottest talent. He was like that top black talent on the Indies, and then he left. Got signed by WWE. He had a decent run, man. I mean, Hit Row was only 4 months, but it was so impactful. He was the North American champion. He gets called up, and gets released, and now he's back, and now he's the hottest thing on the Indies again. So, hey, man, I love Swerve Scott. And funny thing, shout out Righteous Reg from the Grab City podcast. He in that media scrum after he asked TK some questions, bro, about the whole Big Swole thing, and you have Swerve Scott who just signed, and you got Keith Lee and all these other talent and representation in AEW. How is he looking to change that and stuff like that? So if you can go watch that press scrum, go watch that. Brandon was crying because Punk was crying.
I was definitely not crying.
It's
I was not crying.
there were some tears. There were some tears rolling down those cheeks. Don't get a lie.
I was talking about.
Hey man,
I was cutting onions, man. At 11 o'clock at night.
hey man, it's okay. I almost shed a tear when I heard Vader's going in the hall. So it is what it is. But congratulations to Swerve Scott, man. We were at that APW show when he wrestled Jake Atlas. That was like one of his last indie shows before he went up.
Brian was there too.
No, of course, yeah. Right. Yeah. I took him to his first indie show. What are you talking about? It wasn't that.
As a fan, he was working that show. He was working that show.
Swerve comes out to the Shaka Khan. Tony Khan has to get the rights. He has to.
I think he wants to come out to his own music now.
That's okay, sure, but like I'm trying to hear "Ain't Nobody."
He said he thinks it's time to move on.
It's not though. It's great. It's so good.
Maybe you do a Punk thing. Have it just be like a one-off. Make it impactful.
Do it like the first night. Do it like the first night.
The first night, or maybe like a big championship match. Whenever that'll happen.
Yeah. But like I said, congratulations to Swerve. So is he not going to be on the collective with the others?
Nope.
I see.
I mean, as much as I love Hit Row and I thought they were cool, I mean, Swerve doesn't need them. It's more they needed. I mean, am I lying? Am I lying?
I see
three of them.
Top Dollar, he's about to be on a podcast this coming week. So Jobber Tears, no. Black Wrestling, no. Black Announce Tape, no. TP,
Curveballs and chair shots,
no.
Curveballs,
no.
Greatest?
Within the rope, no. Public Enemies, yeah, that's it. That's them. Yeah. Behind Enemy Lines. I mean, Swole, AJ Francis. They've had Myron Reed. Come on, bro.
Good for them.
It's okay, bro. I mean, I've interviewed Ted DiBiase, so
Yeah,
and Kelly and Rikishi.
Of course.
Starboy Charlie, I was his first interview. He's become the hottest thing on the indies. We've had Juicy Finau, Titus Alexander, Masha Slamovich, Shaw Guerrero. Like it just keeps going.
Brian Tronic.
You haven't been. I've had Baby Huey on the show.
Friend Baby Huey.
I saw Chemo. I saw Chemo on Friday night. That was Brandon's get that one time.
Yeah,
the one.
How's Chemo looking these days? What's the scouting report?
So he has a manager now. They bring out the broom that he used to ride on and
unicorn broom.
The unicorn broom. There's no unicorn head.
Oh,
and he comes out to Gangster's Paradise now.
Oh, he's a tough boy now.
He's a heel, brother.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
We
got the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defending against Ty Conti with Anna Jay. And Jade continues to roll 650. I mean, they just go out guns blazing. We got, for some reason, Jade kissed Ty in the first at sound of the bell. I don't know what the hell that was, but
mind games, bro. Mind games. There's nothing wrong with it.
The internet had a field day probably. And Jade gets the win. Shortest match on the card, 650. And, it was not it's not going to be perfect by any means, but Jade, I think, continues to improve, out of whatever matches she's on now, 28, 29.
29-0. She's only been wrestling for a year. Like legit, not just AEW. Like she's only been in the wrestling business for a year. It's crazy. And she's their star.
This match wasn't that good.
It wasn't. But look, my point is she's the one on that one of the very few on that roster to where if I look at her, I'm like, yo, she's a star. Who is that?
For her to have only been wrestling for, what'd you say, a year?
A year, yes.
I will say that she does great in making you feel like that's not the case. It's
the old ECW mantra that Paul Heyman used to do. Show the bright spots, hide the weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're doing honestly a pretty good job.
And she's fearless.
As long
She's
as the
got
match
it.
doesn't go over like 15 minutes, she'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and Ty Conti's not exactly, Ric Flair in '85.
She
So
didn't help. She really didn't.
So yeah,
help.
she's not going to help the match. But if you put her in there with like Thunder Rosa or some of the more experienced people, I think Jade is going to do well. I mean, she's just kind of like in squash matches, kind of really. So
she's AEW's she's AEW's Braun Breaker.
She might be AEW's Brock Lesnar from 2002. Yeah, I'll say that.
Well, I don't know if old Sterling's anything like Heyman.
Yeah,
he's wrestling's greatest lawyer.
That's true. Wait, no, David Otunga.
That is wrestling's.
He has never lost a case.
Is he currently practicing though?
Yeah, he's still practicing. That's why he hasn't been on TV.
Okay, got it.
True TV.
Got it.
Go watch him.
Exactly.
Then we get probably the match everyone's talking about, maybe the best. I don't know. We'll see. CM Punk takes on MJF in the dog collar match. MJF comes out to Cult of Personality, cut it, and go to his music. So wasting the Punk pop. But then Punk does one better, comes out to the AFI theme he came out to in ROH, comes out to the basketball shorts. I was waiting. I wanted the basketball shorts to come out at All Out. It didn't happen, but we waited. We got ROH Punk back, and they fucking just go out there and try to kill each other, 25-45, and Punk gets to win a bloody brawl. It was slow and plotting, but it also wasn't slow and plotting. I love this match. I thought it was fantastic. I know maybe you guys, I know I'm the Punk mark, so talk me off of why this match.
No, I can't do that. Punk is my guy. Like I've said multiple times, he's my Austin. I popped. I was like, this music sounds familiar. Then I'm like, oh my god, it's ROH Punk. Well, once when I saw the shorts, it was great, man. It was
if only he bleached his hair, would have been just chef's kiss.
Yeah, it would have been chef's kiss. No, but it's like he said in the media scrum, or like somebody asked him in the media scrum, like a kind of like paying homage to himself. It was a love letter to himself. It was a love letter to Ring of Honor in a period of his time that he does hold very fondly. Great match, man. Just they went for it. They told a great story. They brawled, brother.
I liked the match. I thought it was a tad bit too much bloody.
I feel like there was less blood in this than Cody versus Dustin at Double or Nothing.
Yes, there was. You're right. There was less blood, but it was still a little too much. Maybe too early. I won't say too much. I think it was too early on in the match. I don't have any problem with the match. I thought MJF and Punk. I do have a problem. I don't think the right person won.
Really?
I think MJF should have won this match. I also think that it's way too early for.
Well, here,
go ahead.
Here, I'm gonna disagree with the blood being too early because he had that open cut from Wednesday.
Okay.
So if you get tapped on that pretty easily, then it's gonna gush.
Okay, makes sense.
I think MJF should have lost because I mean I don't know why they didn't mention he's been in a dog collar match before on the Indies. I don't know why they didn't mention that. But like Punk, he's had multiple dog collar matches, so he's kind of the dog collar match vet. It's like
he's a dog.
It's like if you're in a singles ladder match with Christian, then majority of the time Christian's going to win because he has experience. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that and Wardlow putting down the Dynamite doesn't ring. People are saying that's the equivalent of Batista giving Hunter the thumbs down going into WrestleMania 22 or 21. I don't know if I'd say all that. Yet,
it's AEW's equivalent. It's the best thing they've done in terms of a turn.
Wardlow may think, hey, I have a shot at the TNT title. I don't need to put up with this no more. But remember, Wardlow is not contracted by AEW. He's contracted by NJF.
I feel like so that's reason why I felt like Wardlow winning or getting that. Now he has the opportunity for the TNT title. Okay, cool. Now he can focus on that. I felt like this was a perfect opportunity, if any, to kind of swerve the audience and kind of, because we're all anticipating that Wardlow heel turn, or I'm sorry, face turn, but no, now he's he's gonna once and for all settle it. I'm with MJF. I'm behind MJF. He has helped me get to this place. Kind of like oh my God, I can't believe he's siding with MJF after everything he's done to him. But look, he's gotten an opportunity for the TNT Championship. Why not get MJF, someone like MJF, in your corner to make sure that you win that TNT Championship? Not like he needs it, but every, bad big guy I'm in this situation, always gets a little help sometimes. I felt like have him win the TNT title, help MJF get to the world title, and then eventually Wardlow gets sick of it finally after all this time.
I think what's going to happen is MJF's going to cost Wardlow the TNT Championship.
Sure.
You need me, yada, yada, yada. Then they can lead into the story of Tony Khan offering Wardlow an official contract. They do the graphic gimmick Wardlow's officially All Elite or whatever. And then honestly, we can go to the Double or Nothing. That could be a big match on Double or Nothing. If Wardlow wins, he's free of MJF. The emancipation of Wardlow, kind of like what they did with JBL and Shawn Michaels years ago. When Shawn beat JBL, it was the emancipation of him. Do something like that.
I feel like that would be leading down a path where after that, what do you do next? Wardlow will just be another big guy that's just on the roster.
And he actually wins the TNT title.
Yeah, but so then what? Wardlow and MJF would be for the TNT title? Or would you do all that stuff in between his path to the TNT title?
Yeah, in between his path. Like I said, Wardlow has a TNT title match. MJF cost him. And then they build this feud to Double or Nothing, because that's not that far away. It's what 2 months away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do that.
I was wondering if maybe just said you have the TNT title match on have it be between Wardlow and MJF, just because Max would be like, oh, that's my title, I own you, and I said if you win you'll give it to me, even though I rescinded on it, and they can go down that road. Because I picked MJF. I thought MJF would win, thinking they would do the title match or world title match with MJF and Page. Now it still could happen. I don't like AEW having their number one contenders kind of lose right before they challenge for the titles, but Punk did signal that he wanted the title. Someone asked him about that in the press conference. He kind of didn't really answer it. So maybe they're going Hangman and Punk next. I don't know if that's the best idea for Page, but I think it was the right time to turn Wardlow, because I think the peak of it, the peak was maybe a couple weeks, months ago. And I think the more you kind of drag this out, I think the more people are kind of going to get sick of it. And when he did it, it got a really big pop, which I don't know if that's more the match was that good, if people were still behind Wardlow, or they just hate MJF so much it doesn't matter when Wardlow turns, they're just always going to pop for it. So there's a lot of different branches that can come out of this match.
Right.
Then we got the AEW Women's World Championship, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
They have a new title.
They do have a new title. Do they even explain it or say something? Because I was like, that's a new title. And then I was trying to hear anything. I didn't really hear them mention that's new. I
wasn't really paying attention to the entrances. I was just I saw the title once Britt won. I'm like, oh, they have a new championship. Okay. So am I one to say I like the other one better? Because the other one, they had the smaller one, then they made it larger, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's fine. But now it's kind of on the WWE route with it being kind of the same size and shape of the men's title. They've crafted these designs after the old, was it Mid-South or Mid-Atlantic Championship from back in the day. The gold with the black, the black globe, it does remind me of the Undisputed title. I said that. So it's interesting. It looks nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I like it. It's cool. It does have kind of that old classic type feel. I was never the biggest fan of the women's title. Even, I mean, especially when it was like the super small one, and then they kind of made it bigger, kind of for Britt. And this one's cool. I mean, I do like how I just love how the titles are all just different compared to WWE, where there's all just the plaster logo and have a different, belt on it. Brian, your thoughts on the belt?
The belt was okay. Better than the first one, but I'm kind of on the when the first one got bigger, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like the strap on it. We'll see. I guess it's not as shiny as the world title.
No, it's not. The world title. Did they get a new one? It looks bigger.
Really? Okay, so Jim Ross asked the same thing. He's like,
"No, but
is that a new title?"
Like, look, like if you look at it, I'm like, did it get like restoned or did they touch it? They touched it up or something.
It looks shinier. It looks shinier for sure.
They might have just polished it or something, bro. That's a beauty. I remember. What was your thoughts when they debuted the world title at Double or Nothing, Brennan?
I was like, man, that looks just like the IWGP title.
Doesn't look like that one anymore, now does it?
No, that's why the AEW one's fucking probably the best title design wise, world title.
Possibly. I mean, the Bulletcast title. It's
of course, yes. After that one,
yes. But this
I hold.
Yeah, sure, whatever. This match did not hit.
Yeah, they're just like in a tough spot being after that CM Punk match. I mean, I think if you flipped the Punk Jade match and have Punk and MJF go, have Jade and Ty kind of bring the crowd down a little bit, and then have the women's world title match kind of get the crowd back into it. Like, yeah, the match itself wasn't like their blood match a couple months ago, but yeah, I think they were like in a no-win situation. Still did a good job, but I just think it was really tough for them to be in this spot.
This was not their best work.
17:25 clocks in it.
Really? Oh God. All right.
Britt Baker is not the Queen City.
There we go.
She's not on our level. She's not on the level. I have yet to see a Britt Baker match other than the St. Patrick's the lights out one, which doesn't count. I'm disappointed.
It's like I said, man. Or Brandon has said this too. Britt's only as good as the person she's in the ring with. So if the person she's in the ring with is a Thunder Rosa, and let's say Thunder Rosa is having an off night, then it won't be as good. Now, I mean, like she's not the Queen City, and given like Charlotte's been doing this for a very long time, but even Charlotte's early matches, they were still like, oh, okay, from like back in those NXT FCW days. Yeah, but let's wait and see. Maybe one day Britt will get in there with the Queen City.
Maybe. And Andrade brings her across enemy lines.
Ooh, behind enemy lines. Check out the AJ Francis interview.
Okay.
You're welcome, Graham.
That is so funny, dude.
I'll be sure to take his belt as a payment.
Okay.
Ooh.
Next up, we had Jon Moxley taking on Bryan Danielson in a just straight up regular singles match. This one goes in 21 minutes. I didn't think it was that long, but apparently it's that long. And they just went back and forth. They went to war.
Did they tweak Bryan's music? It has lyrics now, right?
Yeah, it's been the case for a couple of weeks. I'm not a fan.
It's always had lyrics. When he debuted, it just didn't. They played the version without the lyrics.
Yeah,
it's always had lyrics.
I like the version without the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah,
I like it. With the lyrics.
I might have to actually listen to the lyrics.
I was born for greatness.
I might have to actually listen to the lyrics. That's probably my thing.
Just get the final countdown.
See, we don't need that. This is a new new Bryan Danielson. We don't need to do that.
But it's a banger.
Sure, but this is maybe one night when he's back to being a babyface and he's going.
He shaves his head and he comes out with the final countdown and he wins the title.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. Good. There was blood. Creative spot with the way Jon Moxley won. I thought that was interesting. And Brian Tronick is gone.
He gone.
I mean, D-Bra is your boy. What are your thoughts, man?
I like this match. I need to rewatch it because I don't think I remember pretty much a lot of it. But I kind of want to rewatch it just to see, how everything kind of played out. But from what I can recall, it was a pretty good match. Moxley gets the win. They were bickering. The young children were not getting along. And then the teacher had to come out to get them to like each other again. Old William Regal shows up, big pop from the crowd, and they shake hands. So looks like we're going to get Mox and Brian together with William Regal just kind of being their manager, leader, coach.
Regal getting some blood on him. I'm like, oh. I've heard people say this. He can't say blood and guts the way he said War Games. It just wouldn't be right.
It just doesn't hit.
Or can he say Wardlow? Can he say that?
Or he could say Guts Games.
No. Wardlow.
Blood Games.
Oh my God. Blood and guts. Can he be like, lights out? Or what other gimmicks do they do? Casino Battle Royale.
Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future AEW TNT Championship.
They just go all over with it.
Really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. What? Here's a question. They have the Casino Battle Royale and the ladder match. Are those like their signature matches?
And the Stadium Stampede.
Well, but they're not doing that anymore.
Maybe.
What? Because WWE has so many signature matches. You just like, whoa. You know what I mean?
You don't need a bunch of gimmick matches. We got the dog collar match. They're bringing that back.
The lights out match is their
dog collar match.
Lights out.
Yeah.
So we getting Moxley and Brian going for the tag team titles, or are they just gonna do their own thing, but they're gonna be together?
No idea. We have to wait and see.
Well, I would hope that they would, do what Brian said that they should do, and work with Moriarty and Garcia and all that stuff. Otherwise, why the heck did you say their name if you weren't going to try and work with them?
Gonna build a big old stable.
That'd be interesting. Them led by William Regal and the two veterans do a lot of the heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Then the penultimate match, we got the 6-way or 6-man tornado tag with Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Sting, and the AHFO, Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. And this one, pretty much, it goes 13-20. 12-20 of that was outside of the ring. And this thing was just a fun, fast-paced, just brawl, stunt fest type thing. We get Sting jumping off the, whatever you called the corridor, the tunnel, through 3 tables. God bless Sting. The man's north of 60 and he's doing this.
Mae Young was getting power bombed off of the stages at 77. So what do you expect?
So you're telling me he got 15 more years of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Sammy Guevara with the Spanish fly off the top of the tunnel, the entrance tunnel. Butcher and the the Butcher looks jacked. He lost an insane amount of weight too. What are these guys doing, bro? We all need to hop on what they doing.
The Butcher and the Blade have come a long way.
They have. Blade's come a long way since he was Braxton Sutter in TNA. Yeah.
I'm Tronston Sutter.
All right, bro.
All
right. And he left.
What?
I had to.
Where did he go?
13-20. I loved it. I thought it was great, fantastic. Brian, what do you think?
I thought Jeff Hardy was coming when they set them tables up in almost identical fashion as Royal Rumble 2000 in the crowd area. I was like, yeah, Jeff's gonna come. He's gonna hit a swanton. But no, it was Sting.
We got a stinger splash.
Sting!
Oh man, why does he gonna keep on putting on bangers at his age in AEW just to prove everybody right? Kind of, I guess.
I guess
he was misused and wasn't used the right way in WWE or something. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, Darby gets the pin on Matt. I think
Completely
Jeff's
missed that coffin drop.
well, I think Jeff's non-compete is up like this week, so I think that's why they couldn't. That's why I wasn't expecting Jeff to do anything, but I think he's going to be here around the corner sooner rather than later.
That coffin drop, man. He missed. He missed.
Apparently, Jeff Hardy thought, or Matt Hardy thought that Darby had those young legs that can just go all the way across the ring. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Phillip, you still there? What'd you think of the match? Oh, he's gone. He's all the way gone. You just hate to see it.
It's gone because he lost the predictions again.
But then he's saying he's still the champion, even
Go ass up,
even though the title wasn't on the line.
man. Keep talking about it. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So now he's going again. I don't know what else is there to say. I mean, they just brawled around the ringside area, the crowd, the stage.
There was a lot of tables for Sting to go through. I wonder if, like, you can't practice that. I mean, I guess you can practice the fall, but going through
and if you overshoot it, you're falling from like even a higher area because the tables will tilt over and they kind of push you forward and land on your head. And so he kind of really has to, you almost have to kind of land it short so you can fall through the tables.
So is the fact that happened, would you say that that's more like, hey, okay, like AEW as a whole, like Tony Khan, all right, I trust you, Sting, to not hurt yourself. Like, I've seen enough. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Like, is it that kind of thing? Or like, do you think that was Sting's idea? Or do you think Tony Khan was like, hey, Sting, I want you to go up there and do a splash onto these tables, Jeff Hardy style?
I think at this point in Sting's career, I think he kind of picks and chooses whatever he wants. And we keep seeing that Sting is just he's up for anything for better force. I mean, he hasn't gotten hurt yet. So, yeah. And I think he is just kind of on that revenge tour, just wants to show that, the things in WWE, they weren't justified. And he, even at 60, which is 5 years later after the WrestleMania matches with Triple H and then the Seth Rollins thing, that he can still do it.
Yeah, that sucks, man. It just sucks that on that big of a stage, like WrestleMania or even in WWE as a whole, that he didn't get the opportunity to really show that he can go. And I mean, obviously he did in that match with Triple H, but he didn't win, which sucked. And the match with Seth Rollins, like, he got injured. And then after that, WWE was like, oh no, we got to put you in Hall of Fame. It's time to retire.
Sammy Guevara once again just pulling out all the stunts. I mean, we're talking more about Sting doing just a little dive when Sammy is out here doing Spanish flies off the Tron and almost killing himself. But
he did almost kill himself.
I mean, Sammy, he's a fantastic wrestler. He's just so smooth. It's just the character, the promos, and like that type. It just doesn't. I mean, Eddie Kingston, let's be honest, not the best wrestler in the world, but the way he carries himself and the way he gets a crowd behind him is just 10 times more than what Sammy can get the crowd behind him.
Oh, absolutely.
So
now
Phil,
the match.
Your thoughts on the match? We're gonna leave it.
The match was it was all right, man. They relied on a lot of the crazy spots and everything like that in between, and I guess it helped them out in their favor. Yeah.
All right, main event time. Hangman Adam Page defending his AEW World Title against Adam Cole. Baby, the crowd figuring out, oh, both these guys are named Adam, so let's chant, let's go Adam. So we don't know who we're talking about.
It's all about the ball.
Crowd was pretty hot for this, considering how long the show's been and what they saw. It goes 25-45, and Adam Page retains, gets the win with the buckshot. Crowd booing Hangman a little bit kind of during the match. I think this was more of a Adam Cole type crowd. Yes, it's in Orlando, so the NXT ties are going to be deep over there. So I did wonder, how the crowd would respond and how Hangman would be considered as a champion. He gets the win. They like him, but I think they just like Adam Cole more, which I think is always going to be a tough scenario. And if you go the Punk route, which they kind of hinted at, that's even more, I think, favoring the other person than your babyface top champion.
This felt like a WCW main event to me. In a good way, though, like one of those good WCW main events for the title. And look, it was kind of like, Adam Cole.
It wasn't the Adam Cole 40-minute kick at everyone's finisher match that I was thinking it was going to be. Luckily, it wasn't. They kind of contained themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just sad that he's not able to do what he can do on the grandest stage of them all. WrestleMania.
The most stupendous 2-night event.
If Adam Cole stayed and re-signed, what would his WrestleMania match be? Is he facing Pat McAfee?
Yeah,
are they doing that again?
Hey, it was fire. Yeah, I'd see them do it again.
Oh my God. Would Adam Cole be in Austin Theory's spot if he was on the main roster?
No.
Yes.
You don't think so?
Yes.
No. I think he would. They would have had him in a suit with his ponytail tied, and he would have been in all these segments with Vince.
No.
Losing to Damian Priest and Finn Balor and, the rest of the mid-card excellence of Raw.
No, he would have been on SmackDown. He would have been the Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
I know these things.
It was a good match. I thought it happened a little too soon. I don't know. I hate to sound like a broken record, like, oh, too soon. But
hey, I really thought he was gonna beat him.
I'm glad he didn't.
I kind of wanted him to.
Is Hangman's title reign better than Big E's? That's the big question.
Well,
I would say yes, just because it's not a high bar, but the matches have been probably better. He's treated, like a champion. He's main evented. He's going to the titles.
You have to look at it. Big E, the title run, the majority of the run was honestly the impact of the run was the fact that he was everywhere doing media appearances. Is Hangman Page doing that? No.
Even Big E's not the champion. He's still doing those things.
No, I'm talking about like he was like the Wilder fight, the Breakfast Club and everything like
Big
that.
E was just at the Daytona 500.
Okay, everybody goes to the Daytona 500, bro.
I've never been to the Daytona 500.
Like WWE superstars, you know what I mean, bro. Like they'll throw random people at the Daytona 500. That doesn't mean
disrespecting the biggest race in their sport,
bro. You really think that's a sport?
Wow.
You really think that's a sport?
Disrespecting the athletes of NASCAR.
I could be a NASCAR driver.
Whoa.
Yeah. What?
You wouldn't crash and none of that stuff.
No, of course not.
No.
Because I'm different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could be the Scottie Pippen of NASCAR.
Told you.
Yeah.
So you'll be pretty good, but you'll never be the best.
All right, I'll be Dennis Rodman.
So you're just gonna be the wild boy.
Of course.
Okay.
No, I gotta be Pippen.
Gonna be in Vegas the night before, even though the race is over in Florida.
Yeah. I feel like Magic Jordan. Or no, what's the bar? What's the Kanye bar from Schmuckers? I feel like Magic Jordan, Scottie Pippen at my wedding. There we go. Yes, sir. That's it.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my facts for today.
Tell him to bag back.
Shit, bag back. Back, unless you want to go back to back.
Ooh.
Feeling like Jordan 96, 97. Yes, sir.
Ooh, wee.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I did a great job at the Ruby Soho thing last week. So what should I sing on Thursday, guys?
We did Punk. Maybe we go like a country route. Get some George Strait.
I'll sing Troubadour.
Okay,
I'll sing Troubadour.
Do Dixie Chicks.
No, I'm singing Troubadour.
It's the Chicks.
Oh, my bad.
I'm singing Troubadour. That's what we've decided, guys. This Thursday, I will be singing Troubadour. Red Dragon come out. No Young Bucks. I was shocked. No Young Bucks. Dark Order comes out there. All the shenanigans. A couple of buckshot lariats, and Hangman Page is still the AEW Heavyweight Champion.
Rightfully so.
Is he just like the streak ender? Is that his gimmick now?
Hangman Adam Page is what WCW wanted Lex Luger to be.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where you're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. I was watching.
Who's going to be Hangman Sting, huh?
Sting.
Okay. We didn't talk about the pre-show is Kenny Omega's music hits. Then Don Callis comes out. He cuts a promo putting over Kenny. So where's Kenny? Where he's they introduced him, quote unquote, back into the universe. So that means he must be around the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Young Bucks didn't.
He's hiding.
Young Bucks didn't come out to help out Cole. It was just Red Dragon. So maybe continuing some sort of 6-man, either with Kenny or with Page. Who knows?
That'd be fun for Double or Nothing. Kenny's first big match back. And then we eventually lead to like May to August, that one-on-one match between Kenny and Adam Cole.
Yep. There's a long gap between Double or Nothing and All Out because it's from May.
They have
September.
What, Fight for the Fallen and Fighter Fest, so stuff can happen there.
They have their premium live events on television.
No, they're just free previews.
Yep.
Free views.
Like there's a free preview coming on tomorrow night, NXT Roadblock. Check it out.
Can't wait.
Amazing.
I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much. Overall grade of AEW Revolution 2022. Brian Tronic.
Is this a letter grade or a number?
It's a letter. We don't do numbers.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a B+.
Okay. All right. Brandon Tanguma.
Loved it. A-. Well, Phillip's going to give it an A for Antoine. Thank you guys very much for tuning in for AEW Revolution as the dogs are barking in the background. That's been Phillip. For Brian, I'm Brandon. We'll see you on Thursday. We'll talk about the fallout on Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, Vader going to the Hall of Fame, and everything that happens until Thursday. So take care, guys.
Wait a minute. Oh, my God. We have to go. Sorry.